Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanam Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Stadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadabhaktaya Namo Namaha. Narayanam Gurum Vande Sharanyam Bhakta Bandhavam Gauramanovistam Purnam Radhadasyam Pradayakam Rupanugacharya Varyambu Rupamanjari Preshtakam Patita Pavana Bandhavam Yugacharya Narayanam Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripas Sindhubhya Evacham Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaura Twiste Namaha. Shama Sundara Shikanda Shekara Ismira Hasara Murali Manohara Radhikara Sikamam Kripanide Swapriya Charana Kinkarim Kuru Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vrindai Tulasi Devyai Priyai Keshavascha Krishna Bhakti Prade Devi Satyavatyai Namo Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramu Ramo Ramo Hare Hare. So first of all, I begin offering my most humble obeisances to the dust of the lotus feet of Paramaradhatama Shri Guru Pada Padamo Nityalila Pravishta Om Vishnu Pada Paramhamsa Parivrajaka Ashtotara Sata Srimad Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayana Goswami Maharaj Srila Gurudeva, and to my most worshipable Shiksha and Sannyasa Guru Nityalila Pravishta Om Vishnu Pada Ashtotara Sata Srimad Srila Bhaktivedanta Bharati Goswami Maharaj, and to all Shri Rupa and Gauriya Guru Varga, all Tridandi Sannyasis, Brahmacharis, Vaishnavas, Vaishnavis, and to all the assembled devotees here today, my most respectful obeisances. So by the causeless mercy of Srila Gurudeva and all Mahabhagavatas Acharyas, we are able to assemble here one more time. So continue with Sri Ramananda Samvada, the most important questions and answers. Now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is asking, what is the most beneficial activity? Shriyo Madhe Kono Shriya Jivera Hoisar Krishna Bhakta Sangha Vina Shriya Nahiyar. Shriman Mahaprabhu asked, out of all beneficial activities, which is the most favorable for the living entities? Ramananda Rai replied, there is no pursuit more auspicious than to associate with Shri Krishna's devotees. So this is the third question related to the Krishna's devotees. So how much importance he is giving, right? Last time we read what is the most painful thing? That was to be separated from the devotees of Krishna. And now again, Ramananda, he's giving an answer also very similar to that, saying that the most auspicious thing is to associate with the devotees of Krishna. It's even more important than bhakti itself. He could say that the most auspicious activity is to perform bhakti towards Krishna, right? That would be like the most obvious answer. But no, he's saying the most auspicious activity is to be with Krishna's devotees. Shreya means auspicious. The result of affiliating with Shri Krishna's devotees is that one is able to obtain Krishna Prema. Therefore, the association of these devotees in the ultimate form of, is the ultimate form of good fortune. Having forgotten his Swarupa as the eternal servant of Shri Krishna, the Jiva instead becomes the servant of the illusory potency Maya. And as he is ground upon the mortar of Maya, he suffers great misery. However, when the Jiva gains the association of ones of Shri Krishna's devotees by devotional activities that he has performed unknowingly or even accidentally, cause Agyata Sukriti, then under the shelter of those elevated souls, he is gradually enabled to comprehend this state of opposition to Bhagavan, whereupon he abandons sensual happiness and begins to internalize himself. The devotees of Shri Krishna are just like veritable touchstones, which convert iron into gold, and they can transform the jivas who come in their association into touchstones as well. So again, we can relate to that pastime, which I told last time, of that Brahmana who worshipped Lord Shiva to be able to get the most precious thing, to become the richest person. And then Lord Shiva sent him to Srila Sanatana Goswami, right? And then Sanatana Goswami Pad told him to find the touchstone, which was in the garbage. And then he brought it. And then Sanatana Goswami after, then that Brahman after, he returned to Sanatana Goswami saying, if you gave me this touchstone so easily, it means that you have something more precious even. So you should give me that. Then Sanatana Goswami Pad told him, okay, only if you throw this Chintamani in the river, then I can give you that. And he does like so. And then Sanatana Goswami Pad gives him the Harinam. But actually, what was implicit here is that Lord Shiva gave this person, that Brahman, the association of a pure devotee, as Sanatana Goswami. And this is actually the most precious thing that we can have. And because of that, that was the cause of him, getting bhakti. He was initiated and he forgot completely about his mundane duties and he just became absorbed in bhakti. Lord Shiva and Sanatana Goswami, they worked together. They were very much friends. And so once you pray to Bhagavan, Bhagavan sends you to his dearmost devotees. And then in response, those devotees will send you back to Bhagavan, but with Sambandha Jnana. Not just, blankly. So in that way. So continue here. Now Gurudeva quotes a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam 11:2-28. Mane Bhagavata Sakshad Parshadam Vo Madhudishad Vishnur Bhutani Lokanam Pavanaya Charantihi. The king of Videha, Shri Nimi Maharaj, is saying to Sri Narad, the saint among the demigods, my lord, I understand that you are indeed an eternal associate of Bhagavan Madhusudana, because such eternal associates travel everywhere in order to purify the materialistic living entities. Then he quotes again Bhagavatam 11:2-30. Atatyantikam kshemam prichavo bhavatunga samsaresmin kshanardhopi satsanga sevhadirnrinam. O great soul, who purify the three worlds, I ask you, what is the swarupa or nature of supreme auspiciousness? And what is the sadhana to attain that? In this world, even half moment's association with a devotee is the cause of supreme good fortune for mankind. So here again, Narada Muni is giving this instruction to Nimi Maharaj. So again, Narada Muni, he could answer, just practice bhakti. But by practicing bhakti alone won't give you the result that you expect. That is prema bhakti, Krishna prema. You can only get that in the association of the pure devotee. So all the advices will be always being sadhu sangha. They never tell you just practice bhakti randomly by yourself, as if that could give you the final result. It's not possible. So next question is, who should the living entity remember at every moment? Kahara smarana jiva koribe andukshan Krishna nama guna lila pradhana smaran. Sriman Mahaprabhu asked, whom should the jiva remember at every moment? Shri Ramananda Rai replied, the principal objects to keep in mind are Shri Krishna's name, forms, qualities, and pastimes. In the first stage of sadhana, remembrance is done forcefully. But as the living being's oppositional instance towards Shri Krishna gradually diminishes, to that extent, the natural remembrance of Shri Krishna's names, forms, qualities, and pastimes takes place. Ultimately, the devotee will not desire to discuss mundane topics, even for a second. Dedicated to not wasting even 1 second of time, he thus considers wasting a mere moment as being equivalent to universal devastation. So here we can see now that remembrance, smarana of Krishna's name, forms, qualities, and pastimes are the most auspicious remembrance for the jiva. And as Gurudev is saying here, in the sadhana stage, smaranam is done forcefully, means you have to force yourself to remember about Krishna. You have to read some books, you have to listen to Harikatha. That remembrance is not coming automatically. Sometimes it comes, sometimes does not come. But from Bhav Bhakti onwards, that smaranam is natural and spontaneous. And it's just like a current, a flow, continued flow of one pastime coming after another, like a chain in your heart. This is the desired stage for us, when we never forgetting Krishna, and automatically remembrance is coming. This is the most fortunate stage. And in the perfectional stage, smarana becomes even prominent than kirtan. Smarana is actually the most prominent in the perfectional stage. Why is that? For example, when Srimati Radhika, she loses her senses, she can't speak. She can't speak. She's in trance, but she's always remembering, because the remembrance is unbroken in that stage. But many times she won't be able to do kirtan. Many times she won't be able to even to hear Shravana or do any other limb of bhakti. But smarana will always be there, always. Without smarana means you have gone to Maya, even for 1 second. If mind is not in Krishna, mind must be in Maya. There is no third option. Therefore, even in the answer here, in the purport, Gurudev is saying, where is that? When as the living being's oppositional stance towards Shri Krishna, means forgetfulness towards Shri Krishna, gradually diminishes. To that extent, the natural remembrance of Krishna's names, forms, qualities, and pastimes takes place. There are 2 rules, basic rules in the Smriti Shastras. which is like the best commandments to all devotees. The first is always remember Krishna. This is the best advice. And the prohibition is never forget Krishna. This is our main duty. But forgetfulness is not under our control. Perhaps you leave your house in hurry, and then when you are outside, when you need something, you remember that you forgot that. Was that willingly that you forgot? No. That was due to some, consequences of your, activities. Sometimes we forget even very important things, which are like very good for us, but we forgot. How can we explain the forgetfulness? We cannot explain. You can only understand when you remember again, or when you need that thing, right? It's such a type of like illusory thing, forgetfulness. So can we imagine if you forget about bhakti, not for one day or 1 week, for lives? You don't know about that. You only come to know that you forgot it when something will call out your attention again, right? How many devotees, they forget about Ekadashi and they break Ekadashi? How that happened? Maya has come in between. You don't want to forget, you don't want to miss, or you don't want to break it knowingly. You are very dedicated there, but suddenly that forgetfulness comes. So that is due to our lack of strength in bhakti. As soon as our strength will be more and more powerful, then that remembrance will become like continuous with us. So therefore, there is only one prayer that the devotees, they should do. Never forget Krishna. Never forget bhakti. Because once forgetfulness comes, nothing can be done. You don't know even who you are. Some people, they hit their head and forget who they are. Can you imagine? So devotees, they always pray, never forget. Now let us continue here. Sri Jiva Goswami in Sri Bhakti Sandarbha has described 5 types of smaranam, of remembrance. First, smaranam, or to initially inquire just slightly about Shri Krishna. Dharana, to remember Shri Krishna to a limited extent. Dhyana, to experience a partial manifestation or catch a momentary vision of Sri Bhagavan in the heart, or to glimpse his form, dress, or ornaments. Fourth, Dhrida Smriti, to retain a fixed meditation upon Bhagavan. And fifth, Samadhi, to receive darshan or a spurti of Bhagavan's leelas, which are filled with varieties of rasa. So these are the stages of smaranam. Shri Krishna's names, form, and pastimes are all of the same nature as Shri Krishna. Remembrance of Shri Krishna is the most important remembrance, of which the foundational root is the congregational chanting of the holy names. Krishna Nama, Krishna Guna, Krishna Lila Vrinda, Krishnera Swarupa Sama, Sabhachidananda. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila 17:135. The holy name of Shri Krishna, his transcendental qualities and pastimes, as well as the very Swarupa of Shri Krishna, are all equal. They are all Chidananda, or spiritual and full of bliss. So what is the best way for us to practice smaranam? Doing kirtan. In the case for ourselves, loudly chanting, doing sankirtan, congregational chanting, is best way to never forget. So for example, when you're doing very loud kirtan, very nice, with many devotees playing, dancing, singing, very loud, like hammering the holy names, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, like that. Huh? Very enthusiastic. You cannot think about anything else. Anything else. Your mind will be totally there, absorbed in that kirtan. Completely, isn't it? If someone is, for example, sitting and doing silent meditation in one place, he's there like a yogi. And then suddenly comes a big procession of Harinam. What will happen with that devotee's, that person's meditation? It will be completely broken, isn't it? He won't be able more to meditate and to concentrate. Where his mind will be, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, like that. So nothing is more powerful than this Harinam Sankirtan. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada and others, they used to say to us, chant loudly so that you can hear. That is the best way to keep Shravana and Kirtan and Smarana together. It's the best way. Okay, so now, next question. What is the most important meditation? We are talking about meditation, now it came. Dheya madhya jivera kartavya kondhyan Radha Krishna padam bhuja dhyana pradhana. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked, of all types of meditation, which one should the jiva engage in as his actual religious duty? Ramananda Rai replied, most important meditation is to contemplate the lotus feet of Shri Radha Krishna. So this answer is almost the same as before, right? And the connection was given by Srila Jiva Goswami. He just numbered here the 5 types of smarana. One of them is called dhyana. Dhyana is meditation. Up to samadhi means absorption. So the answer should only be the same. Meditating on Krishna's pastimes. Or Radha Krishna's lotus feet. It doesn't matter. It means Radha Krishna activities. The samadhi of the jnanis and yogis is nirvikalpa, a state in which the meditator, the object of meditation, and the act of meditation do not endure. Since everything becomes shunya or zero, neither the realization nor the perceiver live on. Conversely, in the samadhi of the devotees, the mediator, the object of meditation, means Sri Bhagavan, and the meditation process all continue. Meditation upon the divine pastimes of the Supreme Person, the devotee obtains a spurti, or a vision within the heart of them, and he actually sees his object of meditation. This is a very important thing to understand, okay? Let us come back here. What is this type of meditation that the yogis they do? This is called nirvikalpa, nirvikalpa samadhi. This is the result. Means the state of oneness. So when the observer, the observed, and the observation itself becomes one, they are actually nothing. Understand? If you lose the separation, the individuality of the observer and the object observed, then what that will become? Cannot become either the object or the observer. And even not the observation, the act of observing. It will become what? It will become nothing. So therefore, that meditation stops. Because once you are meditating in something, and that something becomes nothing, that meditation stops. Right? The objective is to contemplate that object. This is called dhyana. Then once that disappears, then it stops. Therefore, Gurudev say here, it do not endure, do not last longer. But the meditation of the devotees give result. What is that result? You'll be able to see Krishna continuously in front of you, because you remain yourself, observation remains observation, and Krishna will remain Krishna. Like that. And not that, and the best thing is that that meditation, which is what say like somehow not real in the sense, you are like concentrating, on Krishna's name, for instance, that can become Krishna himself. So that can become even better than the beginning of that process, right? So now he's quoting a very nice verse from Bhagavatam 1:14, which is like from the inquiry of the Shaunaka rishis, Shaunaka and the rishis, to Sutta Goswami, very, very important questions. And one is this one. Tasmadikena manasa bhagavan satatam pati srutavya kritavyascha deyach pujascha nityada. Therefore, with one pointed mind, one should constantly hear about, chant, meditate upon, and worship Bhagavan, who is very affectionate to his devotees. I think this is clear, just complementing the previous answer. Now, next question. Where should one reside? Sarvatyaji jivera kartavya kanavas Sri Vrindavana bhumi jahani telilaras. Shriman Mahaprabhu asked, where should the jiva reside, abandoning everything? Shri Ramananda Rai replied, one should live in Brajabhumi, Sri Vrindavan, where the Rasa Lila is eternally performed. Among the diverse pastimes of Akila Rasamrita Sindhu Shri Krishna, the Rasa Lila festival reigns as the crest jewel of all. Every other pastime is contained within this Rasa Lila, which occurred in the supreme abode Sri Vrindavan. Whoever possesses the single-minded greed to attain Braja Prema should reside only in Sri Vrindavan. Sri Ramananda Rai's precise meaning is that one should live in Vrindavan, which is manifest here on earth, and which is special as it provides the setting for the extraordinary Rasa Lila. There are three principal manifestations of Sri Vrindavan Dham: Aprakata, Prakata, and Drishyamana. Aprakata means the supreme abode, Sri Goloka Dham, which exists eternally and which is entirely beyond the material elements. It means this is the transcendental Goloka. It's called Aprakata. Aprakata means transcendental. Prak means unmanifested, literally unmanifested. Prakat, which means manifested, everything that accompanies the Lord's appearance in this world. Means whatever comes from that realm, transcendental realm here, this is called Prakat. Like Jamuna, Govardhan, Ganga, the pastime places, the associates, this is all called Prakat. Because Bhagavan performs his manifest pastimes here in this world, the material nature is involved in his pastimes. So also many pastimes become Prakat, manifested, and some are still only Aprakat. And here he says at the end, the material nature is involved in his pastimes. Yes, because once he has descended with his abode, supreme abode, in this material world, now the environment is the material world. It's not anymore the transcendental world. Although all these elements, they are still transcendental, but the environment is the material world. Then third, Drishyamana, that which is within the common sensual jurisdiction of general people. Then he quotes Srimad Bhagavatam 10:47-61. Asam maho charanarenu jusham maham shyam. Vrindavanikim api gulmalato shadinam. Ya dustyajam swajanam. Arya patham chahitva. Bejur mukunda padaving shuddhivir vimigram. Uddhava is saying, the best thing that could possibly happen for me is that I take birth in this Vrindavan as a forest bush, creeper, herb, or even a medicinal root. Or if I could become one of these, then I would continuously be able to serve the foot dust from the lotus feet of the Braja Gopis. If I could bathe myself in their foot dust, then I would become most fortunate. How blessed are those gopis? Just see, they have abandoned those things that are most difficult to give up: relations with their family members, and the restrictions imposed by society and seniors. They have obtained the lotus feet of Bhagavan, complete absorption in those feet, and the topmost love for him. What more can I say? Even the Shrutis, which are the Vedic instructions that emanate from the breathing of the Supreme Lord, are still searching for that, the same super excellent, love-laden form of Shri Krishna, but they cannot attain it. So here Uddhav is describing if he is born. Just 1 second. So here Uddhav is praying that if he becomes a blade of grass, a bush, anything in this Prakata Vrindavan, in this manifested Vrindavan, which is like material body, a grass there is like a material body, but still he will be able to take the feet dust of the gopis because they will be walking around. They will be walking around. In that same road that we pass by, they also are passing by. In those same gardens that we are walking, they are also walking, but they are unmanifested right now. But the road, the place are manifested. But still, if by some good fortune, you can come in contact with that feet dust somehow or other. You'll be greatly benefited. That is a very beautiful pastime to share with you. Perhaps anyone heard or not, but there was a disciple of Srila Bhakti Pramoda Puri Goswami Maharaj who had cancer in the final stage. And she came to him and she told him, oh, doctor told me like that, I have cancer in last stage. There's nothing to do. They have no means to treat me, but I don't want to go. Can you help me? And then Srila Bhakti Pramoda Puri Goswami Maharaj told her, okay, you do one thing. You go to Nidhuvan. Nidhuvan is that place where Krishna is performing Rasa Lila, where there is a famous room in which the pujari will arrange the bed of Radha and Krishna very nicely with many objects, and he will lock that room. And then in the morning, everything will be a mess, inside the room, on top of the bed. So a very, very special place, which still nowadays pastimes are going on there. So he told her, you go to that Nidhuvan at midday, around midday. And from such a specific place over there, you should take a little pinch of soil, of dirt, and then you should take it and honor it, because Krishna will be passing by there at that very time. And if you take that dust, then it will be like nectar. like best medicine. Then she did that and she cured. Miraculously, she cured from that cancer. So Krishna is there right now. But now the situation is a little bit complicated because the pastimes are in Prakat, Braja, but now it is again Aprakat. Means the pastimes are performed here in Prakat, but they became Aprakat. They became unmanifested for the eyes of the common people. So this is the manifested, unmanifested. But when he was here, everything was manifested. Everything was Prakat. If you would go to Vrindavan, you would find them, as any jiva could, do. Right? Many people were around, living as many types of, people here and there. But if they could not recognize him, if they could not take part of those leelas, Krishna was just another person, not important at all. So this is the thing. Okay, now next question. What is the best topic to hear? Shravana Madhe Jivira Kon Shrishta Shravan Radha Krishna Prema Keli Karna Rasayan. Mahaprabhu asked, out of all topics to hear, which topic is the best for the living entity? Shri Ramananda Rai replied, hearing about the amorous affairs of Shri Radha Krishna, which is like a medicinal tonic for the ears, Karna Rasayana, is the best of all. What to speak of the jivas, even Rasika Shikara Shri Krishna hears the songs describing his own loving affairs. After taking complete sannyas, Shri Biva Mangala Thakur was traveling towards Shri Vrindavan, singing about the sweet amorous pastimes of Shri Radha Krishna, being unable to withhold himself. Shri Krishna began following behind him, listening to his singing. Eventually, those songs were compiled into a book by the name Shri Biva Mangala Thakur, entitled Shri Krishna Karnamrita, meaning that which pours nectar into the ears of Shri Krishna. Shri Krishna Karnamrita means those songs that Biva Mangala Thakur was singing. They were so like Amritamoy. Amritamoy means nectar filled, that even Krishna came behind to hear. Then he gave the name of his book, Krishna Karnamrita. Those songs which can even fill up Krishna's ear with nectar. Very beautiful. So the amorous affairs of Shri Radha Krishna are compared to the most vital rasayana, life-restoring tonic. Shravana or hearing is of two types, Vichara Pradhan and Ruchi Pradhan. In Vichara Pradhan, the hearer is full of doubts, just like Arjuna. In Ruchi Pradhan, the hearer has no doubts in the statements of the scriptures, and he hears the descriptions of the qualities of the Lord with great relish. Shri Narada is an example of this. It is also written. Shrimad Bhagavatam 10:33-40. Vikriditam brajabadu biridam cha Vishnu shadam vito dushruyat atha varnayadya bhakting parang bhagavati pratilabhya kamam hridroga mashva pahinoti achirena dhira. O Parikshit, a grave person who faithfully and continuously hears the narrations of the transcendental pastimes that Bhagavan Shri Krishna performed with the young girls of Braja, and then describes those pastimes accordingly, achieves supreme devotion for the lotus feet of Bhagavan. He very quickly attains freedom from the diseases of the heart, which are the transformations of lust. So the best thing is to hear the sweet pastimes of Radha and Krishna. like the Madhurya pastimes of Radha and Krishna, to cure the disease of the heart, which is called Hridrogam or lust, means desire for satisfying our own senses. This is the actual meaning of lust. So in this way, these are the best thing, the best topic to hear. Okay, so we are going to stop here by now, and then we will continue next time. Okay, Hare Krishna.